That's right, it's that time again. Welcome to episode 6 of my Kohler ECV749-3046 EFI 26.5 horsepower engine that I got off of my Turo Z Master. It's taken so long because the guy sent me the wrong connecting rod, piston, and rings. Had to wait another week to get the new one. Put that in. Finally fit. Until I found out that the camshaft that I had used from an older Kohler wasn't exactly correct. Therefore, my sump cover would not fit on there. Once you tightened and torqued down the sump cover, it wouldn't move because this top part here on the camshaft was just like 1/8 too tall. So after another week or so, I finally got my new camshaft off of exactly this engine. Hopefully we can install this. Sump cover will go on tight and torqued, and the crankshaft will turn. So today I'm going to be installing the new camshaft. Of course, we need to remove both valve covers, loosen the tension on the rocker arms so that we can get this old camshaft out, new one in. Sump cover in. I probably have to re-RTV gasket this, put it on, torque it down. Hopefully I'll be able to turn the crankshaft and then try to reassemble this. I don't know, I got a box of screws and nuts and stuff and I don't know where anything goes. Hey, there we go, fellas. Took some doing, but the Kohler EFI engine is put together. I do have one bolt left out of the box of bolts that I threw all the stuff in. I cannot figure out where this bolt goes. It's a thin sort of machine kind, you know. It's definitely not an inside bolt. It's gotta be an outside bolt. You know, this could be the end bolt to the broken connecting rod, and I just threw it in there. That could be it. This looks like that. I'm not gonna worry about it too much. It was tricky to get the cover back on here and using the correct bolts and screws to put everything back together. There's brackets that hold this, it says Delphi on it. I believe this is the CPU or ECU, something like that, the brains. And then getting the cover on here and then putting the dipstick on because you couldn't get the cover bolt on there without taking the dipstick off. Dipstick was off already. Then the rest of the wiring harnesses, this goes to the two. This goes to one, the harness in there. There's actually two. Got the power wire going to the solenoid. Got the negative going to ground on the starter over here. I only remember this because I remember having to remove this that way. Breather to the PCV into the valve cover. Got this attachment. This is to the oxygen sensor, to the muffler. So here's a part of it that I kind of don't understand. So I have this loose one here. I'm assuming this one goes, I put it in the middle here, which is the pulse. Where do I get the pulse from, right? This one over here is fuel source, and this one here is fuel. See, that goes to the electronic fuel pump. So maybe it gets fuel through here, goes into there, the pulse pulses it, then it has to exit out of here and it goes right back in there again. So I don't understand. So I don't know where this part goes, or if this part is the source. So I should put this one here and this one in the middle, because this one goes inside. Maybe that's the pulse. So one of these is mismatched. I'll figure it out when I have this on the tractor. Also here, while removing the muffler before, I broke the heat shield, see? And this part here, if it's like that, it just floats up in the air and covers the muffler. It's the only attachment to the muffler. So I need to weld this heat shield back together again. Otherwise it's gonna wobble. So I'm gonna come back tomorrow. I'm gonna weld this. Getting the throttle linkage on the bottom was kind of tricky. I still don't know where that spring went into, 1, 2, 3, 4, or G. I don't know which one. I'll have to go check my video to see, but it seems to be okay. Installing this thing back into the voltage regulator and the ground strap to this. Installing the cooler lines back into the oil cooler, back into there. So this is kind of distressing. You recall my problem was that when you tighten the bolts on the sump cover, torque them down, you wouldn't be able to turn the crankshaft at all, which was what led me to figure out that the camshaft was the wrong one. So now we have the right camshaft. And also doing some research, there's supposed to be a shim, 0.03 inches shim that goes right on there. I got that too. Put it on there, tighten the bolts down, same thing. I could not turn the crankshaft. So yes, the thickness of the gasket also has something to do with it, obviously. So I loosened the sump bolts just so that the gasket could cure. And loosening them, they're not torqued down. They're tight, but they're not super tight. You know what I mean? If I did it super tight, you couldn't turn it. So now it's like this. And it is hard. It's hard to turn. I'm putting quite a bit of pressure to turn this. Concerns me quite a bit, actually. But I do recall I've rebuilt about 25, 28 engines already. There were times where you couldn't turn this very easily until you put oil in it. And then after the oil splashes all over the place and coats all the moving parts, it was easier to turn. So there's no oil in here. Maybe that's it. I'm hoping that's it. Because without the sump cover on here, it turns very good. With the sump cover on there, it's hard to turn, man. I mean, it does turn, and it doesn't seem to be clicking like it was before. And spark plugs are in there, so this is compression. I don't know if a starter would be able to turn it this way, you know what I mean? So I might have to put oil in it, soak it. I don't know. Then you got another one here. I don't know where that goes. It goes to some place on the tractor, zero turn. But yeah. But all the parts that were in here have been used. So some minor things I gotta work out. Welding that heat shield. I think I put it together correctly. So I'll do some more research on where some of those hoses go for the fuel pump. And then next step, weld the heat shield together, and then test the engine, put oil in it, test the cranking, and we'll go from there. We'll see you later. Good morning. It's the next day. I was thinking last night, watching some videos on YouTube. Did you know that you have to bleed hydraulic lifters if they're old and used? Because they've been exposed to oil in the engine, it could be saturated with oil in it, almost like hydrolocked with oil. So you could bend rods that way if you don't bleed them first. I didn't know that. Saturated hydraulic lifters in an old engine could bend the rods and put tremendous pressure on the cam, which may be difficult to turn. I'm going to try to relieve that kind of pressure, if there is any, just as a precaution. But I'm very bothered by the fact that you can hardly turn the crankshaft. It's so tight.
That's what she said.
So I've done 3 already. These are the hydraulic lifters, right? And inside here could have oil in it, that when you depress this, it doesn't allow it to go all the way down because you've got oil in it. So I've done the other 2 on the other side and there was no oil in it, which is good, so it's bled. This one had a little bit that squirted out. I don't think that makes much of a difference. This is the last one. So basically just take a clamp and like a small little you know, drive bit, and you stick it right in there and it pushes down like that. So you're supposed to compress it for like 5 minutes, but if there's nothing in it, nothing's coming out, right? So there's nothing in this one either. So there's no oil in these lifters, which I wish there was, because that would explain, you know, it binding and not easy to turn. But it's not that, unfortunately. So you can hear the air when you decompress it. See, you're supposed to be able to push it in like that. You could remove all the stuff in here and rebuild it, but yeah, it's only if you have indications that it's totally dirty. So that's not it. It's not the lifters, I don't think. I mean, a little bit of oil came out of here, but I don't think that makes a difference. Pretty damn good. Well, all right. The only thing left to do now is to put oil in it. Maybe we'll hook up a battery to it, give it a bunch of cranks. Maybe it'll kind of splash the oil around, lubricate all the parts. Maybe it'll spin a little better. That is, if the starter can even turn the flywheel. How tight it is right now, I doubt it. So listen, I've done everything that I think I can to rebuild this, and it's just really tight. I mean, short of getting a really thick gasket, that would be the only way that I could do this. I think I might have to end up doing that. I don't know how thick the original gasket is, but it'd have to be pretty thick, like 0.003 of an inch. Anyway, I've got this Lucas synthetic SAE 10W30, and that's what Kohler has in their engines, their commands, their command pros, their V-twins, all of that. So I know a regular engine takes about 1.3 single cylinder. The V-twins, probably 2 quarts. But I don't think I'm gonna put the whole 2 quarts. Holy shit! The hell, where is that coming from? Oh my God. Remember when I first put that 1 quart in, when I first got the tractor, and I put a quart in, leak right out? Why? Where is this coming from? This is ridiculous. it just poured out as if nothing was holding it. What the hell? Where's that coming from? What the hell? There's a hole with a drain plug supposed to be. But I've checked that already. There's already a drain plug. There's two? Well, how the fuck am I supposed to know that shit? It was in another box. Thing is, I don't remember taking it off. But then again, I am 57. I don't really remember anything yesterday. Okay, so now it shouldn't leak. Now this is a test to see if my repaired sump cover with the hairline cracks with the JB weld, let's see if that holds. Because when we first got this to test out the engine, I put a quart of oil in here and it leaked out the next day from those hairline cracks. Well, I've sealed those hairline cracks. So this will be a good test. Pour a couple of quarts of oil in here, see if we get any leaks tomorrow. Got a new piece of dry cardboard here. Now we'll see if we pour something in it. That's how you get a groin injury. You're gonna slip like that. Now if there's gonna be any more leaks from the sump cover, we'll know. So a little more than half came right out. But it's a good thing I stopped, because usually I pour the whole damn thing in there and then realize it's pouring out. That's because you guys don't warn me. Yell into the TV and say, Henry, it's leaking, you idiot. Oh my God, what a dick.
We need you to donate $1 or $2.
Okay, got a new set of cardboard under here, so if there's any leaks, we'll see it. Got a good battery here, it's connected. I'm gonna jump the solenoid, see if it cranks. So now the starter is spinning, but the Bendix gear is not going up and grabbing the flywheel. It did before, but then it released. It's still sticking down there now. So the starter works, but the Bendix gear is not popping up. Oh. So do you know the amount of work that it takes to remove the top engine cover? Because there's a million things hooked up to it, including the throttle. It's a lot of work just to take off this cover so we can see the Bendix gear on the starter. So I'm gonna remove the dipstick.
You're a dipstick!
Without leaking any of the oil out. Move the bracket to the ECU. Remove the starter. And then mess with the Bendix gear with the starter off. That's what I'll do. So as you can see, I've taken off the starter and I've been messing with it, oiling it, have a separate power source going to it, and I just don't understand it. I've messed with starters a lot, okay? And this one's just got me going crazy. So check it out. So you could, I've cleaned up this shaft. It was all rusty. I can push this forward and it is tensioned, spring tensioned up and down. I have to use this to grip the Bendix gear and push it upwards, and I feel resistance. See, pops back, down. When you turn it on, it spins just fine, but it does not pop up by itself. No matter what I do, it won't pop up. So if it doesn't pop up, it's not going to grip the teeth of the flywheel and turn the flywheel. It won't grip at all. Even if I stick this thing in there and push it upwards, look. I'm forcing it up and it will not go up. So I'm wondering if there's like a broken spring in there that's supposed to push it up. I'm not really familiar with the Kohler starters so much, you know, but I mean, it doesn't seem like the starter's working properly. This Bendix gear is supposed to go up. Yes, I have reversed the polarity. I put the positive on the negative and the negative on the positive to have it go the other direction. It just goes the other direction. It still doesn't pop up. So I don't get it. It's the starter right now that's preventing us from spinning this flywheel, turning the crankshaft, splashing the oil around, and see if it's a lot smoother with the oil lubricating all the parts. That's what I want to do. I'm not going to mount this engine on it with it binding like this. I want to see if the starter will be able to turn the flywheel. And with oil in it, it should be easier. But I can't get this Bendix gear to shoot up, no matter what I do. I will admit it's kind of going up when at the first start. If I keep working it back and forth, maybe it has to be super smooth or something. But look, I could turn this with my hand. Look, it's pretty smooth that it goes up. Maybe because over the years it hasn't moved so much that the spring is rusty and it doesn't have much spring to it. I'm not sure. But look, watch this. See if it goes up a little. I mean, a little. It goes up a little. I think I have to just keep playing with this. And I don't want to buy a new starter because, let me tell you something. A new Kohler starter for this V-twin is like 130, 150 bucks. If you think I'm going to buy it for 150 bucks, you're nuts. Okay, I guess I'm going to end it right here, at least for episode 6, because I can't go any further. If I can't try to turn the flywheel with the starter, there's no reason to mount it. Got to figure out the starter so that we can at least turn the flywheel, crankshaft moves, hopefully splashes the new oil around, maybe it'll spin faster, because right now it's really tough to spin. You can't even turn that crankshaft. I mean, you can, but with a lot of power. Short of getting a thick gasket that will probably loosen up the limits in there, because right now the camshaft is binding on the sump cover. And I even put the shim in there. You're supposed to have the shim. If I took out the shim, it'll probably not bind. But I'm thinking that maybe I need a thick gasket to make up that space, loosen up the camshaft, so that I could turn this engine. This whole project's turning into kind of a nightmare.
Oh my God, what a fucking nightmare!
I'm gonna do some research on the starter. We'll see you at episode 7. It's a beautiful day. It's gonna mow my backyard. This thing mulches really good. Got a mulch cover on it. But I'm guilty of mowing it when the grass was wet. So recently when I tried to mow it, the blades seem to get hung up sometimes when the grass is really deep. So given the evidence of this tire filled with this wet grass, I bet you the inside of that deck is filled with dry grass. I gotta try to get rid of that stuff without having to take the deck off. I'm gonna try to flip it first to the side so I have access to the deck. It's only a 38-inch deck, so it shouldn't get hung up on the ground. If not, I might have to jack up the front and crawl under there and do some scraping. Super surprised that it wasn't even that clogged up. Had a little bit of grass, but amazing. Super clean. Sharpened the blades. Didn't get dirty. That lawnmower works great. Look how level and smooth that is. Don't mind my lawn. It is summertime. So I'm over at Andy from Jericho's house. I'm Andy from Jericho. We're getting ready to play our monthly poker game. And he got a new couch. And so he's throwing his old couch out. So it's different to take old furniture from the street. But if you know the guy and you know the furniture, it's 1,000 times better than my couch at home, because Boba's trashed That ain't going nowhere. Casual. Flip-flop, flip-flop, flip-flop.
I don't know about you, but I'm not ashamed. I'm struggling. Really? Yeah. Oh! And oh, you want me to put any back up? I know. I just picked that up too.
Hope you guys enjoy the video. See you guys next time. Mowers and blowers. Make sure you're subscribed. We'll see you guys later.
See you guys next time on Mowers